IJobhealing.com. This is your turbulent energy forecast for the week of September 7th through the 13th.
Wow.
I have to say to you, if you're a starseed, lightworker, and empath, it's not really been a fun week for us so far. There's fires burning in California at unprecedented rates. Portland's still burning with, rebellious rioting and things like that. And the mayor's not really, and the governor's not really asking for help from President Trump, which is making things worse. And then we have still the corona pandemic going on, right? And there's still restrictions going on, and some people are still having to quarantine if they leave the country and things like that. So not really fun times on the earth plane, but just remember that everything is temporary, and remember it's really important to take care of yourself. And let me not forget, happy Mars retrograde. But is it? Mars doesn't go retrograde, on the regular like other planets. Like, as we know, we've come to except that Mercury goes retrograde every 3 or 4 times a year, and it's even become, mainstream, not only just for woo-woo and astrological babes and spiritual peeps, but everyone knows about Mercury retrograde. And of course we know that Mercury retrograde affects communication and contracts and travel and things like that. So what does Mars retrograde affect? Because Mars and Venus don't go retrograde only once a couple of years, thank God for us. And we went through the Venus retrograde. It's okay, Luna. We went through the Venus retrograde, which was really detrimental in a lot of relationships. There was a lot of breakups as a result. The financial markets went haywire. And so it's interesting because Mars also affects the financial markets. I noticed that yesterday I was able to finally, buy Chevron stocks under $80, which hasn't happened in months and months and months. So the markets are also being affected. So it was stationing a few days ago, and today officially Mars is going retrograde until November 13th. And so a lot of us have been working it, hustling for the last few weeks because Mars has been in its home planet of Aries. So we've had just a tremendous amount of energy that we've been dispersing, and the pace, and people are just simply exhausted, right? Simply exhausted by the pace. And so now it's really a time to slow down. So if you have any vacation racked up, this is the time to go on retreat. I'm going to be going retreat in October in Mexico. So this is really a time to slow down, go on those trips if you feel comfortable, or stay home and just take some time off, because Mars is slowing down. Mars is the planet of conflict. So right now, also the last few days, it's been people have been like hair triggered, like a lot of conflict. People have been really reactive. So if you've been getting in little tiffs and fights with your loved ones, unfortunately, that is just the energy of the times. And so just don't, try to do your best to be calm and not reactive, because it's really easy to get into that conflict spiral. So don't engage if someone's, getting all riled up. You can't control them, but you can control you. So if someone tries to pick a fight with you, a loved one or somebody at work or something like that, you can just politely remove yourself from the situation and just be like, okay, I'm not doing this with you right now. So you don't have to react and you don't have to fight back, right? So, but right now, just a lot of heated energy, a lot of Mars is fire, Mars is, sexual drive, it's ambition, it's doing, it's getting, it's going, it's active, right? So it's like Mars is, the war god. It's that warrior spirit. So again, warrior spirit. So again, just be careful. Don't get into, arguments and fights with people and conflicts, because that's really easy to do. And just recognize that people are on edge anyway. And the earth, my God, Mother Earth, it just like my heart breaks for her that she's going through, all these fires and all these destruction and all this looting and all this rioting, and we're just destroying Mother Earth, who is our true mother and is here. We're here to, nurture her and protect her and help her raise her frequency back to the 5D, right? To the times of Atlantis and Lemuria, when we were high-vibing spiritual peeps, right? And this is the Great Awakening. People are awakening at rapid rates, and I really encourage you. It's just like dark night of the soul, guys. There's just some really intense energy out there. So if you're contemplating suicide or self-harm or anything like that, I really encourage you not to take action on that, because all these energies are really temporary, and it's very easy for a starseed to be like, ET call home, I want to get the fuck off this planet. And so, I mean, it's totally natural to go through that, and especially like right now, the inner child, you know, is really reeling. So anything in your body, because you're already higher consciousness spirit, otherwise you wouldn't be understanding or listening to this video, right? So, but your body is going through the ascension process, right? So there are, you know, you're holding on to, Luna, come here, baby. You're holding on to codes from your ancestors. You're holding on to past life traumas. You're holding on to current life childhood traumas. And I mean, there's this book called The Body Keeps the Score. So that is 100% true. If you were a child and you got beat up, or if you got abused or anything like that, and you didn't cry out or you didn't scream in that now moment back then, it is stored on a cellular level and in your body. And that's what I help my clients with, is to release that. And the tribe. And so basically, you know, and it's ongoing work. It's like endless that you're clearing all this stuff, right? So basically what I'm asking you to do is to hold space while you slow down with this Mercury retrograde. Hold space for your inner child, especially this week, because the inner child is totally like, it's reeling right now, right? And all this stuff's coming to the surface, all the sadness and deep sorrows. People have been fired from their jobs overnight. People are going through breakups. I mean, it's just a very, very turbulent time. And so just allow your inner child to be deeply, deeply sad, and allow your inner child to experience the sorrow. Put your favorite, you know, sad song and just cry it out, right? Like, I love Sarah McLachlan's Hold On. Like, I can't get through that song without crying. And so just release that. Use tears as a purification mechanism, right? Because when you help transmute and alchemize that sad energy, it's just going to raise your vibration, right? And that's what we want. We want to be closer into the light. But the closer you are into the light as a light worker and a starseed and an empath, the bigger the shadow, right? So the shadow work piece is really important. Don't do spiritual bypassing. Don't try to... Here's the thing, especially with Mars slowing down, you cannot outrun, you cannot outshop, you cannot outwork, you know, you cannot out-eat these energies, and usually those are our coping mechanisms, right? Emotional eating, shopping, right? Retail therapy, going to the gym, traveling, escape, whatever it is. Well, guess what? 2020 is the year of being in the present. It's like you're in a prison of the present, and there's no escape, and there's only now. And so I'm just telling you, in this now moment, you have these cosmic energies that are helping you, you know, with all this upheaval, helping you lift and raise into the light. That's what happens when the way you're able to transmute the unconscious is you have to see it, you have to experience it, and you have to, you know, transmute it and let it go, right? And you can use some tips for that is sound, breath, and movement. Those are ways that you can clear your energy field, and there are techniques that I teach my clients, right? So sound, breath, and movement are super, super important. Luna, come here, honey. So, anyway, so that's really important to do that, okay, guys? And, you know, something else is drinking green juice. I've been drinking green juice like my life has depended on it. And that really alkalizes the body, right? And removes any acidity. And also what it does is it has an alkaline signature. So it goes in the body and just takes out the toxins. So it's really important because your body is like a factory, right? So your emotions are literally like, you know, like a pharmacy, right? So we create these emotions. And there is no good or bad, negative or positive, but we live in a world of polarity, obviously. So some of these emotions that we've labeled negative, like sadness or anger or things like that, they're coming to the surface with this Mars retrograde. What's happening is they're essentially like they leave a toxic signature, especially when when you're losing weight. A lot of people don't talk about this, but when you're actually losing weight, when you stop like emotional eating and, you know what I mean, you're like ready to let this energetic weight go. And again, a lot of people don't talk about this, but weight loss is so much deeper than being on keto and working out and whatever. Trust me, I've tried it all. But as a health coach, what I've discovered is when you lose weight, truly, when you're ready to look at the reason you put on the weight in the first place, the root cause is usually trauma or something that you're trying to escape from or hide from, or something that you're hanging on to, right? You're physically hanging on to weight. Maybe you were sexually abused, right? And so it doesn't feel safe to be on the earth plane. So you're hanging on to excess weight because it feels like safer. It feels like an armor, or people aren't going to give you unwanted sexual attention or energy if you are heavier, right? So we have to go and heal the root cause of why you are holding on to the weight in the first place, right? Like healing that sexual trauma, right, that happened in childhood or in teenage years, in order for you to safe to let go of the weight. And so then when you do feel safe letting go of the weight, right, then you have to deal with the fact that when the weight is leaving your body, you're shedding energetic weight, and that is a byproduct of the work that I do with my clients, right, live or online, through the transformation program. And so what happens is when you shed the weight, it has an energetic signature of leaving some residual like toxins, because of the emotional toxins. You're going to have to clear that too. So you need to, just like if you want to get a massage, you need to drink lots of water. Guys, drink lots and lots and lots of unpasteurized green juice right now, because not only does it have the green cruciferous vegetables, it's going to help you clear any excess estrogen for those of you that are estrogen dominant, because we're surrounded by xeno and phytoestrogens in our culture. I mean, even men are becoming more feminine and growing man boobs. So definitely drink the green juice and detoxify your body right now. This is so critical. And it's so high vibing, right? Like everything from nature. Nature is your pharmacy, okay, guys? So that's why I'm outside today. I'm grounding. I've got my bare feet, because any rubber or plastic from our shoes, from the soles of our shoes, prevents that connection with the electromagnetic field. So as I'm talking to you, I'm in the sunshine, I'm getting beautiful sunshine energy, right? And these planets, right? The sun and the moon and the stars, they are celestial beings. They have consciousness, right? They're just not objects in the sky like we think they are. So I'm getting energy from, Father Sun, right? And I'm grounding in the earth because I have bare feet. So I'm grounding with Mother Earth, and I'm linking my electromagnetic field with hers. So that's earthing, right? So all great things to energize myself. I've, been drinking, unpasteurized green juice in order to detoxify. I've been taking chlorella tablets or, bentonite clay to also help with the detoxification process, right? So there's all these things that you can do. Drink lots of water. I've been sleeping a lot. So when you're going through an energetic update, you need to get lots and lots of rest, I should say. And then also, most importantly, if things are coming up, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay. So give yourself permission to break down. Give yourself permission to feel the sadness and the sorrow of the inner child. Whether you got fired, whether you broke up with a loved one, whether you're not speaking or estranged from a loved one, whether you're awakened and your partner or your family isn't, and you guys are having differences with all this stuff going on with Mars and conflicts. I mean, it doesn't matter what it's triggering. It's actually what you want to transmute and alchemize is the emotion behind it, right? So whether it's anger or sadness or sorrow. And so we cannot take those heavier, dense, or fear. Some people are terrified. Some people are in abusive relationships. Some people have had abusive childhoods, and they need to clear that. Feeling unsafe, being in survival, being in fight or flight mode, having a blocked root chakra, right? Like, we need to unblock our root chakra. We need to feel safe. We need to ground in the earth. We need to feel like it's safe to be here, because right now these are really crazy times, uncertain times. It's important to let go of this illusion of control. It's important to embrace the unknown. It's important to have gratitude, like gratitude for the fact that the sun is shining today, right? That the sun comes up every morning, right? Like having a practice where you thank the sun for coming up every morning, right? Watching the sunrise, watching the sunset. Being present is so key, because there is only now. They've even done, in quantum physics, they know that time is not linear, time is an illusion. There's only now, there's only the eternal now, and literally all the past, all the future timelines converge into the now, here and now. So this is all you have. You have access to everything, right? You have access to universes. So I really recommend just remembering that, having gratitude in your life, and remembering that everything is temporary. This too shall pass. You sign up for this mission, to come here on Earth, to raise the vibration, to help her into 5D. You didn't realize what an adventure maybe it was going to be, but this is part of it, and you're helping your body ascend. And you are very, very brave souls. And just remember, even if you're going through this dark night of the soul, this too shall pass. I really love you. You got this. Rena with InsideJobHealing.com.